you want a chair? Do you want a chair?
No.
We've got a stool up there. Is that there behind that chair?
Donald Trump always did.
There's nothing wrong
And he
with
gets
it.
shot at too.
You ain't Donald Trump, so.
That's right. You got the shot in.
Maybe you don't follow in his footsteps. Oh, Lord, help us all.
All right. Such a spiritual group tonight.
We are.
I know what I was trying to do. I was trying to think of a song.
Oh.
Do you know the song, This Train is Going to Glory? This Train is Going to Glory?
I don't know
Teach it to us.
No, I don't know that either. It's, we used to sing
that.
it.
I have no sinners on this train, is that the one?
No, this train, I don't know. This train is going to glory.
You know what it is?
This train, yep, that's one.
Okay, well, I don't know. But I mean, I know the song, I just don't know.
Wait, what'd you say?
This train,
This train is going to glory.
this train.
Well, there's one here that's, this train is bound for glory, this train.
Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's it.
This train is bound for glory.
This train is bound for glory, this train.
This train is bound for
Glory, don't ride nothing but the righteous and the holy. This train is bound for glory, this train.
This train
Is bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory, this train. This train is bound for glory, don't ride nothing but the righteous and the holy. This train is bound for glory, this train. All right.
I like it.
Add that one. That's a good one.
You know what they need somebody to go, ooh, ooh.
I think we got our man right now. There you go.
Okay, this is the day that the Lord hath made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. This is the day.
This is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice and be glad in it, and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made.
I wonder if they're singing that for. Only Lord, only God can protect them. Oh, buddy. Okay. All right. Lamentation could be called the blues of Jeremiah. It is the boo-hoo of the Bible. That is not a big truth. I'll tell you why. Because he was the most prominent writer of expressing his feelings among the prophets than any other prophet. And he lived with it very seriously. In fact, he died from it all, but I don't think it was just blues he had. I think he yeah, you know.
And burden.
Right, that's it. And you know, he expressed it in this way, Sister Abby. It's like a fire shut up within my bones. That's the way he expressed it. And so Jeremiah was a priest and a prophet whose ministry was one of sorrow over the demise of Jerusalem. I think he was more descriptive about the tragedy and stuff that was really happening. Of According to ancient record, Jeremiah sat on a hill overlooking Jerusalem and wept as he wrote the book of Lamentations. And, sometimes I think about things. I don't think you can really understand them sometimes unless you've been through it or unless you are experiencing it. Now, Jerusalem was.
Sure.
Zeke.
You just called him.
Tell him he bombed the anointed. Okay, but I think that some things you really can't express yourself or know how to deal with. But the best way is when you've been through something, you know how that person feels. And I could never comprehend the Jews' love for Jerusalem and the temple until I went over there in that country. The key verse of Lamentations is 1:18. This verse explains Jerusalem is in ruins. They have rebelled against the righteousness of the Lord. B, an interesting aspect of Jeremiah's grief resembled Jesus weeping over Jerusalem. Many years later in Matthew, what are they referring to? They were referring to Matthew 22:37, where Jesus said to the Jewish people, he said, how long have I longed to gather you under my wings, like a mother hen doth her chicks? He said, I would, but you would not. That's what it's related to. The scribes and the Pharisees were like, they described the Pharisees were like sepulchres. I didn't understand that till I went to Israel.
Yeah.
And they still bury people in caves over there. But all of the sepulchres that are not used have white paint around them. That means they're available. Okay. And so he was comparing the scribes and the Pharisees to these empty tombs. How important is Lamentations? It was one of only 5 books. Song of Solomon, Ruth, Esther, and Ecclesiastes, that was placed in the Jewish Megillah. I didn't look that up. I thought about it, but I didn't do it. See if you can bring it up on your phone. Megilloth. It says it was 5 important scrolls that were read and memorized at special festivals.
So it's,
Go ahead.
the Song of Songs, read
Okay.
during Passover. Ruth read on Shabbat.
Right.
Lamentations, Ecclesiastes, and Esther. It says, which is the 3rd section of the Hebrew Bible. The books are grouped together in modern Hebrew Bibles, but they were originally scattered throughout the Bible. The order of the books in the Bible follows the order of the annual religious festivals in which they're read in synagogues.
Okay. That's one thing I had a hard time with. I bought a Jewish Bible, and it's not even arranged like ours. Okay. Lamentations is a series of 5 laments. What is a lament? A lament is a poem of sorrow, prophecy of Bible days, often look to the form of a lament when certain calamities had been pronounced. And I'm not going to read all of this ABCD here. I don't think you need me to read that, it's self-explanatory. But let's go down to part 3, Roman numeral 3. Why did Jeremiah write his Lamentations with such synchronization? First, he wrote to guard us against simplifying the process of grief. There is a process from beginning to end, and you cannot hurry it up. Jesus emphasized the importance of grieving in Matthew 5:4. When Lazarus died, Jesus was deeply moved with grief. We should recognize the usual steps of grief. And then they give you the 5 steps here. I think they're good. One is denial. And then the other is anger. And the other is bargaining. And the other one is depression. And another one is acceptance of the loss and adjustment to the situation. Second, he wrote to give an object lesson. A is the beginning of all troubles, but Z will be eventually come. They are not talking about Jewish alphabets here. They're talking about our alphabet. Everything A to Z. First people use that phrase probably. Okay. The refusal of the Jews in chapter 2 to repent. Now, a pastor or a Sunday school teacher or whatever, you talk to people in church. I've seen young people talk to other young people in camps, and the young people want them to come up and pray. Actually, they want them to come up and ask the Lord to forgive them for sin. A lot of times they won't come. But I will say this, 99% of the time, if you have a young person ministering to another young person, they will get more done than anybody else. It's amazing to see youth camps, how they reach out for their peers. Chapter 3, the darkness of sin pierced with hope. Lamentations. Read this, Brother Anthony. Lamentations 3:22 through 23.
3:22 and 23.
Right.
It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassion fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness.
Okay. Chapter 5, Jeremiah's petition. Chapter 4, a repetition of the first 3 chapters. Chapter 5, Jeremiah's repetition or petition for God to restore his people. H, Jerusalem was regarded as the city of God. Question, why did God allow Jerusalem to be destroyed? It's the same story over and over again. It was because of their sin. They would not repent. They I don't know if they were hard-hearted or not, I don't want to say that, but man, it looks like after everything they've been through. And then Jerusalem was recorded, okay, I got that, because Jerusalem was racing in the wrong direction. His mercy kept Jerusalem from self-destruction. God does not allow destruction without purpose. That is something I will never understand. We will never understand. The only thing I can say is what the prophet said, what the psalmist said. It rains on the just and the unjust. That's the only thing. Yeah. Great sightseeing tours. Lamentations chapter 1 is the sorrows of Jerusalem. Lamentations chapter 3 is acceptance and a hope. Okay. As simple as this. Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. They all prophesy about the destruction of Jerusalem and bringing it back. Ezekiel is the one that gives the brightest hope because he prophesies of a millennial temple. That's a good, I believe it's going to be there myself. Okay. And then after that, you have Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Daniel. Now, Daniel prophesied more of, also of the defeat of Jerusalem by the kingdoms and the gold, the silver, the brass, the clay, and the human flesh mixed. He prophesied of that. Daniel also prophesied of the tribulation period. And Daniel, he never left, he began to prophesy. That's it.
Well, brother, we look at two, a lot of times you don't think of it, but Moses, all this will mention just here in the process of people, you know, how he would constantly be hearing the complaints of the people, and just try not to, Lord, I mean, it's like, save these people, you know, they're in a torment right now, they're trying to fight themselves, and he's trying to do his job too, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes you feel like you're going to be consumed, but you're not. Can you read what you're writing, Sister Abby?
Yeah, no, she got behind me because she was trying to tell Lenore to turn off the I Spy.
Yeah, it's not locked in right now, so.
Yeah, you know, when people go on vacation in the church, they're always a blessing to the pastor.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Wow.
Like Lenora,
Probably.
she's the one to a place where they got a water permit, and good Mexican food. What does Lenore do? She has a spirit of vengeance about her. She does.
You know, look, here's the thing, is that she's gotta get 2 other people on board with her to go to this place.
Yeah,
Right.
right,
Right.
yes, they seem to be.
Well, that
okay
was
with
one
it.
of Kagan's goals. He said, when I get to Tucson, I want some real Mexican food.
I mean, I
Oh,
don't like it.
that.
Yeah, today, I don't know, was they still in Texas today?
They're in Arizona.
They're in Tucson.
Oh, they're that's a good place. They're in Tucson, so she sent a picture of a Mexican platter. It wasn't just a dinner, it was a platter.
You have a blank the same as I.
I looked at that and I said, she's out there living in sin. And I'm trying to keep my head above water spiritually.
He was going on with all the other words that I got caught up.
Laura's private. You listen to
I looked back, I was like, oh my goodness.
what was, C,
Okay.
chapter 1? It's on the second page.
Page 2.
Back page,
Yeah,
okay.
Which one? Chapter 1, yeah, what is,
It's
C.
just simply what's written there, I think. Weeping over the destruction.
oh, we don't have weeping.
Yeah, see, we don't have that, you have it, but we don't. Okay.
And then on the first page, the very, A, Lamentations is a series of 5 laments.
Right.
A lament is,
It's what?
I don't have any of that here.
Right.
Is it part? What part?
Part 2, it says a lament is what? A big, before A. See part 2, the 2,
Okay.
I don't have anything in that paragraph.
Right, I don't either.
What is a lament?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. A lament is a poem of sorrow, prophecy. It is prophecy in the Bible days often looked to the form of a lament when calamity was pronounced.
it's a
Poem of sorrow. Then what is A? Chapters 1, 2, and 4. There are how many verses?
There are 22 verses, with each verse beginning with each of the 22 letters of the Jewish alphabet.
And then B, chapter 5.
B is chapter 5, has 22 verses, but does not allow the same alphabet acrostic designs from the Jewish language.
well, it's like,
Chapter 3
Has
has 66 verses divided into 3 segments, with each segment starting with the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and finishing with the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The first and last letter of the Hebrew alphabet.
letters are.
That's pretty. Okay.
Oh, then on the back page, A, first he wrote to guard us against
process
oversimplification.
of grief.
The what? Process?
Process of grief.
Process.
Okay,
And then he gave 5 steps.
right. You use your
Denial,
steps and
anger, bargaining, depression, and assessment.
denial.
And then B, second he wrote to give an
Object lesson.
I think that's pretty good for a short analogy of how grief affects you.
Yeah,
A is the beginning of all our troubles, but Z will eventually come.
All right. That's like a
no,
spiritual
I
thing.
got sidetracked.
Now you gotta get sidetracked and tell her to turn it back on.
I don't know what to do.
Right.